Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with you. I also might sneeze. I'm probably going to sneeze in like... Great way to start the stream, Pat. You could have sneezed before the stream started, but you didn't. Instead, you sneezed on stream. That's rad. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego, the Scythe emote in chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those back at me. Harold, thank you for hosting as always. Dude Wants His Rug is here. That's rad. We are in the pre-show element of this right now. You know, the hangout spot, as I like to call it. Home base, the intro, perhaps. But we're working on a cool model kit here. We were working on the Gundam Exia from Double O. And you're saying to yourself, Pat, didn't we just build this kit? No. We didn't. We built a kit very similar to it pretty recently. Lashbrook picked this kit off our wish list, so we are, of course, obliged to build it. We fairly recently built another kit whose name escapes my brain, so we're looking it up. Oh, yeah, the Quanta. The Quanta is very similar to this kit. In fact, you're going to recognize like some stickers that are very similar. The weapon stuff is very similar. In some ways, the Quanta is a cooler version of the kit we're building today. Hello, Surfer Ninja. Welcome. Harold's here, of course. Happy to have you here, Surfer Ninja. In our pre-show before we get to the building. We're going to see if a few more folks want to join us for the stream. And then we'll get to building. But yeah, we're building the GN drive. This one does not have LED lighting built in, but that's fine. We're gonna build a GE drive. We've got these things, and this is interesting. It's kind of like plastic inserts. It's an odd element. These kind of like heavy plastic pieces that are going to be on there, and they're labeled A through what is it, E, I think, or L. A through L. Okay, yeah. So that's kind of interesting. So we've got these things. That changes things up a bit. But yeah, mostly this kit is going to be very similar to the one we built fairly recently, the end of the year, the Quanta. And that's okay. I don't mind that. I never mind that. I mean, what am I saying? The only thing that bums me out a little bit is that currently, right now, Lashbrook is traveling to PAX South. So unfortunately, we don't have Lashbrook, who bought this kit off my wish list, isn't here to be able to watch us build. We'll have to catch it on, the VOD or the YouTube. Server Ninja is just busy grinding down some nubs on the HE Baratos's sword. Nice. We got the Master Grade Baratos, the one that came out this year. We got that. I mean, look. My $10 patrons are going to vote on what I build after this because I'm out of stuff that was bought off my wish list. So the next thing that I'll build is from my backlog. I'm expecting my $10 patrons to vote for that over the other kit that we could build, which is the Gogeta kit, which is a good kit. And I like the Dragon Ball Z kits, so I'll build the Gogeta. But I'm assuming that the Baratos is where it's going to be at, because that thing is awesome. I'm going to retweet my own tweet, see if we can get a few more folks in here. I'm just going to type in about to start building. But yeah, this is a cool look. Here's the thing, and we'll go to the overhead in just a moment. This is a mainline mobile suit. There's things I like about the Exia very much. One, I like the side panels, the colors, the kind of the very cool green that's used in this kit. It's white with red and blue and a little bit of yellow on the head. But oh, that's the wrong one. See, I picked that's the thing I might build in the future. Definitely gonna build in the future because I own it. So here's what we got. I like all the accent colors, the white. But you look at this and you go, oh, that's the lead Gundam. Like I like that in a mobile suit when you could just look at it and go like, that's the okay, yeah, all right. That pilot's going to save the day and statistically die. The Exia is from Gundam 00, if I remember correctly. I'm going to double check. Yes, the GN001 Gundam Exia is from Season 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam 00. Setsuna Gundam. It's got a saber, a dagger. I don't know if we build that. I think we do. Yeah, got the parts for a saber and a dagger. It's got a gun sword, and hey, I don't know if you know this. Only seen original Half a Zeta, Unicorn, and IBO. I mean, you've seen some good ones. Unicorn, I've never finished, but I've enjoyed. But like, so this is a gun here, and it also becomes a sword. It's a gun sword. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I think that's cool. All right, let's make this smaller again. So there. That'll do. That's good. There we go. Back to business. But I think swords are cool, so I'm into it. Yeah, let's get building. Let's start with the GN drive unit. This might be a lightly viewed stream tonight. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. The most important thing is that people who are watching are having fun. Does it have the funnel parts that make it? No, that is later. The Exia doesn't. If I remember correctly. I'm going to look at the kit. I don't believe that this is one of the ones that where... No. So it's got its gun, which it can hold, and then a blade pops out, and then it has like a blade arm, which is cool. But it does not have the thing where... and it's got a shield and a sword, but you don't put the sword shield together into a giant sword. That's later. So the Exia doesn't do that. The Quanta does that, where you can like assemble a big giant sword based on the parts, which is cool. But yeah, we do not have that with this kit. It doesn't do the whole combining into one big giant, hey, why is this a thing? Sword that you find in that, or like the Astray. Red frame? Yes, the Astray red frame does that too. Look, I like a big weapon, but I also like the somewhat simplicity of it's a gun. So hey, it's a gun sword. It's a gun sword? There's something just cool about that. Just something I'm into. Alright, so it's 16. Gotta know where things go on here. So this goes like this. Into this. It goes down here. Got to connect these right. Because the idea is that you can twist it and connect it. Yeah. Yeah. There's a twist to it. So in the Quanta that we built previously, you take all this stuff and combine it together, and then you can put an LED in there if you wanted, and it'll light up. But that is not in this build. This Master Grade doesn't have that part, but it still has the twisting action, which does maybe something. I'm not sure. But yeah, the GN drive is the whole thing. A computer made a slight error in my parts assembly. Got to take the leg apart to fix it. Yeah, Ninja. I mean that happens. Like right, like at this point. The only kits where I'm like, I am not going to fuck this up are like Gundam Wing Master Grades and High Grades, 100 High Grades. I know them like the back of my hands. The main Gundams are so similar in many ways, and you know they obviously have their differences, but in so many ways they're so similar that I'm like confident that I could build one and like never fuck it up. Oh yeah, so we got the holder for the GN drive. This is a weird thing. That I like this idea. It's just very strange. The idea is basically that it's like, well, you build the drive and you can keep it in the mobile suit, or you can display it on its own little case. And I do like that. I think that's neat, but it is a little weird. Of course, we are using the clips that I bought because my old clips, RIP, my old clips, they did break. The original ones, we're talking over almost 3 years of building on stream. 2.5, I'd say, of building. But it did eventually, very recently, move on to the next life, which is a shame. These clips are just cheap. I had a little credit on one of my, or on an Amazon card, and picked that up because I needed a kit, or I needed snipper clips right away. But not my best tool for the job. I don't really have anything on my plate for tonight. If there's things that y'all really want to chat about, I'm up for it. But I don't have like a big agenda tonight. Like I said, if there's something that you're just like, oh well, we got to talk about this. Like, okay, like my day was fine. Let's see what I do today. I applied for jobs, and I did that. I caught up on some video. I recorded a video for next week for the next Baering the List, my new video series. So I did that video. Trying to think if I did anything else that would be good to chat about. I don't know. Can't really think of anything, but yeah. I watched some comfort anime today, so that was nice to have that. Everyone's got their comfort shows, I think. It might not be anime, it might be television, it might be movies, it might be books, but I think everyone's got media. Or it might be a YouTube video that you go back to now and again. That you're just like, you know what? I'm going to watch that again. So I had my, that. Yes, I do know that. Surfing Ninja. I'm going to refresh my memory with a quick Google search. Because the name is like, this. Okay, yeah. So like, oh yeah, it's Sentai stuff, right? I do know that. Yeah. It's not just Sentai stuff, but it's a lot of it is that, right? So, obviously, I know Power Rangers, right? And I know Ultraman stuff, and I've watched some of that. I've watched a little bit, but not enough of the many, like, Kamen Rider stuff. But I would like to. Oh, that's awesome. Ooh, okay. Shiny. I like that. That's cool. Um, yeah, I was never super into that stuff. No, it was just exposure, right? Like it wasn't a thing that. I'll say this: there are things that I have discovered on my own that I have investigated and found that I am into, and I realized like, okay, well I'm the guy now that likes this of my friend group. But also, I think a lot of times it's easier if you're, for folks out there, to be the person that's like exposed to something that like somebody's passion, right? Like somebody's just like, hey, you might like this. I love it. You might like this, right? That's kind of what I try to do in my role as a person that some people pay attention to on the internet, right? Like, I'm not going to say like known or unknown or any of that. I'm not going to add qualifiers to anything. But I am a person that people like know from the internet. So I try to, when I like something a lot, and especially something that like brings me joy, and comfort, I try to tell people about it. It might be a small thing. It might not be the most flashy thing in the world. It might not be it might not be like art. It might just be like, hey, here's a chill thing I like. Maybe you could use it. Because there are things that I enjoy that are rough, uh, and hard to process and good, but not necessarily like relaxing. And so I do try to find those things here and there and share them. Um, but sometimes like I've found in my life that there are times where I wish that I'd known someone who was really into a thing um, sooner, because I was just like, oh, this was here and I didn't even know about it. Um, I thank and blame my good friend Nick, who I grew up with, for getting me back into anime. In 2011, I had not watched stuff for quite some time. I was very out of watching anime. And then my buddy Nick just left a note on my Facebook wall one day, kind of out of the blue, and just said, they're redoing Hunter x Hunter, and they're going to keep going. And I was like, fuck. I'm going to have to start watching anime again. And I did. I dived back into it, and it was great because it was like I was finding stuff that I was really into, and I was enjoying myself, and I'm very glad I did, but I don't know how long it would have taken me to get back into stuff, because he had tried other times. He was like, hey, this show's out. Hey, you might like this. Hey, I hear this thing is coming out. You might be into that. And I was just like, I think in the mid-2000s, which is also a bad time for it, I just got really back into wrestling again, and then like anime fell by the wayside because I had gotten way into anime or way into wrestling, and so anime was just the thing that I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this for a while. Wait, where's J26? Wait. That's J27. This is I, not J. That's why. Okay. I was like, I am missing a piece. I'm not missing a piece. I was in the wrong sheet. There we go. But yeah, it was really nice to just like get back into it then. But that was just because a friend of mine like knew the right button to press. He knew that I loved Hunter x Hunter, and I was so saddened that it basically, what happened was the anime came out in the late 90s and caught up to the manga. And then towards the end wasn't necessarily doing great. And then like there were some OVAs that came out that kind of tried to tell the story, but it was really truncated and it wasn't great. And then it came back and they redid it. It was like new art. Oh, nice. The MG Exia, love that kit. Yes. Starspark, we are working on the Exia. Yeah, we just started it tonight, and yeah, I'm excited about it. This is a fun kit. But yeah, it's a weird thing that I kind of just fell off watching anime, and then my friend knew what show to be like, this is how I get you back into this. And then I think I had another like kind of like falling off period in the mid to 20 teens, but I mean now it's most of my entertainment is anime related stuff. That's where I'm watching most of my entertainment is that and wrestling again, which is often cyclical because sometimes wrestling isn't good, or there is good wrestling, but it's hard to keep track of. Now it's easier. Now it's way easier than it's ever been to keep track of good wrestling internationally. So like, but there was a period where, okay, well, there's once a week this one company that puts out a lot of content isn't good, and this other company that puts out a lot of content is okay, and this one company is really great, but I don't live anywhere near them. and so I can only watch them every couple months if they do an iPay-per-view. And this other company doesn't put out nearly as much. And this one company tours a lot near me, but I have to like really know how to find them. And now it's just like a bunch of companies have just have like really quality streaming options, and a lot of companies have high quality um, like deals and television deals, and or hey, they're just on fucking YouTube, so you can just watch them on YouTube if you want to keep track of the show that you like. Um, and I'm into that. I'm really into that. All right, so we're gonna put this here, and then we'll put this. Gotta find out where this connects. Connects here? No, no, no. So then this connects here. Yes. All right, so then we got the GN drive. The GN drive is now connected. I got to shave down some points. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But, yeah, we got the GN drive, and we're going to place the GN drive in its chamber here. GN drive holder. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to try to trim this a little bit here. I'll have to get in with a little thing here, but there's a couple little notches that make this hard. But this will also live in our kit, so we probably won't keep it on the, we won't keep it here that long. But yeah, it's been easier than ever to. That's the thing, right? It gets more and more expensive out there sometimes to follow all the stuff you want to follow and do all the things you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's easier to find the stuff you love and to just have that piped right into your veins. Makes things pretty convenient. There's a lot less work involved to find the stuff that you love and be able to continue to support it, which is pretty rad. Good night, Surfer Ninja. Glad you were here for the beginning of the stream. Hope to see you soon. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, for those that are just joined me pretty recently tonight, this is going to be a fairly laid-back stream, I get the sense. But yeah, if you want to say anything in chat, you're more than welcome to jump in. Let's see, did I have anything today that is chat-worthy? Well, I'll say last night was really fun. If you were here last night, I did a Twitch Sing stream that I think went pretty dang well. Some good songs. The DuckTales theme is now on Twitch Sings, so we sang that and did a duet with a woman that had I believe a woman, I don't know, a person, I should say, just say that had a duck on their shoulder, and I sang the DuckTales theme with a person that had a duck, and that doesn't make sense, but it also makes all the sense in the world. That duck sang, it happened. Right, Ultron? First off, hi, Ultron. Happy to have you here, my friend. But yes, it was complete and utter and wonderful nonsense. That was the highlight to me, was that. But it was really fun. I like doing that, mixing it up now and again. But yeah. It was a good time to showcase some silliness and have some fun on stream. But yeah, today I caught up on some video stuff. I shot a video. I got it was very funny. Somebody I know in IRL commented on my Facebook and on YouTube on my this week's Baering the List, where I ranked the Nintendo home consoles because I did not rank the N64 high enough to his liking, and it was all in jest and good fun, but it was very funny that he was just like, "You are wrong. You are wrong about this. You're very wrong. How dare you?" And it was like nice. It was a nice little sentiment. I think the closest I got was the first video where I ranked My Hero Academia Class 1A was just somebody who's just like, I don't like Bakugo. And I get it. As I've said many a time, uh, I like a hero character that seems like a villain. I don't like um, I don't like villainous characters that are clearly villains that are on the hero side and are there to betray them. If you're going to betray people, you need to not be you need to be like good at pretending you are cool. You could have some moments where you like give an evil glare, or there's some sort of sign that we the audience goes, oh wait, no, this person's bad news. Because I don't love in media when somebody who was like, I don't need to see the double cross coming, but I like hints at a double cross. It's the same thing with wrestling, right? People like the shock value of the super kick out of nowhere. Like just like attacking out of nowhere. But I like this doesn't seem like, it seems like there's some tension here, there's some turmoil here, something's off, and then the explosion, and you were like, oh yeah. Like I like that a little bit more than just, well, we're gonna do this out of nowhere because it's shocking. And we do get that in anime, and as I said, I'm not super into it when we get that in anime. I'd much rather have the like like a little hint. Give me a hint here that this person's not on the up and up. Like the doctor guy in there's a guy that looks like a harbinger of death in Fire Force. It's not Giovanni, but it's something like that. And it's like one of those things where we were like, I was not surprised that guy was evil, because that dude looked fucking evil. It was one of those things where we were like, this does not look like a good dude. This looks like a bad person. Like, I'm fine with the reveal that, oh yeah, that person is bad news. Like that's that makes me like that's fine by me. Just see that. All right, so it's gonna go like that. That's gonna go like that. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm putting these on properly. Okay. These are going to be our arm joints here, where our shoulders and arms meet. So I got to make sure I'm doing this right. And then, yeah, we got these this plastic stuff here, these little plastic pieces that I'm going to see how they pop out and how they work. And they look to be mostly cut, but I'm going to do is just hit the old X-Acto knife, and I will just trace it, see where it needs to get popped. I assume, yeah. Yeah, they're slightly connected here and there, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit all the corners, just trace things around, and let them pop up. That's E, right? The letter, it's like etched in here, which is which. So this is E, so that's going to go on this side. Then F's going to go on the other. I haven't worked with this in a bit. There have been a couple kits I've worked on that had plastic like this. You've got to kind of pop out. I haven't done this in a while. So it's fine by me. It's just another thing to apply, just like a sticker. Just another thing. I'm trying to think about other like. I've kind of had this in my head, like thinking about So I do Pat Bear's Anime Club, right? And it's every other week. Well, I know that, let's look at the calendar. I know that the 27th is the next one that I'm going to do, because I put one out on the 13th. Yeah, so the 27th, I kind of know what I'm doing for that one. And then I know that I'm probably just going to put up the archive of me watching the Anime Awards, which is on the 15th. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I'll put that up. That might just be here. But yeah, then I have one on the 10th and the 24th. And then the next week, I'll be doing my live show, and that'll be the next week. So it's like, all right, well, let me think about what I'm going to do the next 3 weeks. Of course, I can do, for the next video, I can just do what shows I'm watching and what shows I started watching and gave up on. I can do that for it's a new season. So there might be people that like don't watch every stream that might want to know that Senton Academy is congratulations Senton Academy. You're the first show that I don't want to fucking watch anymore. Asteroids in Love, you might be next. But that's just because it's just fine. Whereas Senton Academy actively made me annoyed and I don't want to look at it anymore. It's a good premise and I don't think it's a good show. And I'm just done with it. So it's like, okay, I think that'll be that. I have it. So that might be my next video because that's a easy thing to talk about. But I also want to do more topic-based things. Like I explained what an anime club was, and I talked about my history of fan subs, and I've done an isekai explainer. Aristophan, hi Aristophan. Yes. Asteroids in Love is Asteroid, singular. Asteroid in Love is a high school slice of life about a couple girls in their Earth Science Club that liked stars and they want to discover an asteroid or something like that, like name an asteroid. It seems like a little bit of a slice of life thing. There was a twist that I thought they might do something with. But now I don't think they're going to. Where there is a character. Well, the premise was a young girl meets a young boy who's really into astronomy. Yeah, and she's like, no, it's not literal. It's not literal. I can understand why you might think it's literal because it is fucking anime. So it could be literal for all you know. So I understand why you were like, wait, what? But it is not a literal asteroid that's in love. It's not anthropomorphized asteroids. It's just, yeah, girl's really into that astronomy because a dude that she met is into it. So she joins the Earth Science Club because the Astronomy Club and one other club merged. So she's joining that, and she meets the dude. But here's a twist that I thought might make this more interesting than it is. The dude was a girl. She's a tomboy. But I don't think that's the license to make this show gay, which I thought it might be, which would have, been more interesting than what the show is, which I think is just a fine enough show. I got reincarnated. Yes. No, yeah, it's not I got reincarnated as an asteroid and now I'm trying to date people. No, it's not that weird. It's actually very typical. Which is why I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be my show. But yeah, I mean, I could do that next thing. I do have a topic in me because, the main issue is I haven't actually answered the question, so I thought it might be a fun video going through my thought processes on, am I going to torrent or bootleg watch fan subs of a show that does not currently have an announced U.S. distribution. Dorihito is licensed. It's on television in Japan and is on Netflix in Japan. But it is weekly in television as well. So the streaming rights are Netflix Japan. Now, is it possible that Netflix in the U.S. has it and will, when it's done, just put it up? Yes. Has there been any indication or announcement that that's the case? No, we don't know. So right now it's a show that is not being simulcast in the U.S. So, does that mean I just don't watch the show? Yeah. Then you can make a what other crimes should I admit to on video. Yeah. I mean, look, you're not wrong. Uh, you're not wrong. That's true. Um, Admitting to myself that I'm torrenting it or watching a grainy version of it on a website, streaming it on a website, some website. Yeah, it's the thing. But it comes down to like, is this do I do I need to see this show? No, I don't need to see this show. It's one of many shows. Um, I like that it looks cool. I think the art style looks neat. Uh, uh, Looks like a pretty grimy, interesting show. The manga artist, uh, I enjoy that she, as of right now, uh, does not have her name in the public and is like a private like figure, and I think that's cool. And I think the art is neat and weird, and the story looks kind of cool. And the trailers that I've seen are interesting, but it's not like I got Hulu last year for One Punch Man season 2. I had Hulu before, I let it go, but I was like, well, I'm gonna watch One Punch Man season 2, so I'm gonna get Hulu for that. And there were a few other things that I was interested in, but that was the primary thing. Like, I wasn't not gonna get that. So like, I don't have Netflix right now. I don't know if this show would have been enough for me to get Netflix. Just again, I get it sporadically usually, and then binge. So if it comes out, I might get that for a month and binge on it. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've said this, right? I have admitted to not programming, but I have admitted to watching OVAs through fan subs. Stuff that was not licensed in the U.S. That was, the bridge episode between seasons of things like New Game. Between New Game and New Game Plus, there was an OVA, and I watched that. Because not every show ends up licensing the OVAs. Some do, some don't. So you can watch some of them, but not all of them. Like I have said, I have watched the Blu-ray extras with fan subs for Laid Back Camp, because they were not put out. Eventually, episode 0 of Room Camp is just one of those. But there's like a longer one that hasn't been out. And there's no legal way to watch it. So I'm like, okay. And none of this is me saying this is proper or right or I deserve it or or anything like that. It's all purely me wanting to watch a thing. You know, you better believe that I fan subbed the Yu Hakusho OVAs that came out. I'm gonna watch those OVAs immediately. It's new. It's new Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna watch it as soon as fucking possible. So you better believe that I did that. Yes, I could do that. I could with this one case I could VPN, and then I could borrow a login from a friend's Netflix in Japan, who is in Japan, has Japanese Netflix, and I could VPN in, and then I could watch it. So I definitely could do that. That is an option that I could do. So yeah, that you're right. That's an option. I have that option. But yeah, it comes down to yeah, am I going to do this or not? I don't know. I think it's a interesting discussion to have. Oh, certainly, and I totally agree with you. And even with like very good ad blockers or what is it, ghostly, um, uh, ghostery, I should say. Even with any of those, like watching some of the sites that book stuff up like that, can be can be risky. Um, and I totally agree with you. All right, so I got to we're putting our first sticker on. We're building the chest here, putting a sticker on. So yeah, so it's like I don't know. A lot of it is just kind of making that call. So I think there's a good video essay in that. So Pet Bear's Anime Club might kind of look at that and say like, you know, every season or so, not every season these days anyway, but there are shows that just don't get licensed here in the U.S. That they might just come oddly enough, like sometimes direct to video, or in some options it's just like, yeah, nobody thought this would work, and nobody had interest in it. I talk about the one outs or one outs, is a baseball anime that just came out and nobody picked it up. It was never licensed by any company, and like fan sub is the way to watch that. And like because there's a lot of shows. A lot. I mean, there's so many shows that I don't watch that are already on streaming services. I talked about that. There's a dragon hunting show that's got it's got a kind of what do you call it? Steampunky thing. There's like blimps and stuff. That's on Netflix. Well, I'm not going to go torrent that because I really want to watch it. If I really wanted to watch it, I would get Netflix again. Like, there's a way to do it. So, but yeah, it is. I don't know. I think it's worth discussing and kind of talking out loud about. Or like if there's not going to be a U.S. release of a movie, right? Like, I have a thought that perhaps before season 2 of A Regular at Magic School comes out, and Crunchyroll will most likely put that license it because they licensed the first season. It would possibly exist in a world where they put up the movie that came out for A Regular at Magic School, which I've never seen. It's totally possible that they will put that out. Good night, Harold. Good to see you, my friend. Talk to you soon. It's like, it's not necessarily like definitely going to happen, but there exists a possibility they'll put it up there. So I don't know. Sports is a sticky topic in a lot of countries, and baseball seems very American. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sometimes sports animes are picked up, right? And sometimes they're not. I think that like the streaming sites know, right? The streaming sites know. Well, this volleyball anime does very well, but I can't tell you what Prince of Tennis does. I don't know numbers. I don't know the basketball one that did get picked up pretty recently. I have no idea how that did for them. I don't know how. I think Funimation has the rugby one. Yeah, I think Funimation, like number 22 or whatever it is. I think Funimation and Hulu have the rugby one. I don't know how that does. I think that I believe the sumo show did pretty good. People seemed pretty into that, but also that dude just looked. I mean, it looked like it was. It didn't look like a sports anime. It looked like a shonen. So, like, that might have had something to do with it. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know like international. I'm not. I'm no expert in that stuff. I can only say what I know from my experiences and conversations I have with people who pay a lot more attention to these things than I do, about how certain shows do and behave. Because sometimes things get a second season that I'm like, what? Like Arifureta is getting a second season, and I think that show is bad. I think it starts good and then just gets worse every episode. It gets worse and worse. And then I went and read some of the manga, and some of the stuff they cut out, like some of the stuff they cut out, I'm like, this is fine. It's fine they cut this out. But there's like character growth. There's a scene that they do is basically the show has a montage in it that they of like a stuff they just cut out. And like maybe they should have cut out part of it, like where he almost murders humans and has this kind of like declaration that he's like, it doesn't matter if they're human or monsters. If they, try to stop us, I'm going to kill them. I don't know. Yeah, as long as the right people watch a bad show. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because then there's sometimes where there's shows that I'm like, this is really good, and you're just like, no. Like, I don't think we'll ever get a season 2 of Flying Witch, which is one of my favorite shows. I love Flying Witch so much. It's one of the best slice of lives I've ever seen. It's just a beautiful, lovely show. And I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to see more of it. It's more likely that we'll see a reboot of it than a sequel. I'm so glad we get more, that we're getting the side story, the room camp, Heya camp right now. I'm so happy about that, and that we're going to get another season of Laid Back Camp, because I always am afraid about slice of life. Because I feel like slice of life, people are like, yeah, that was good, and that's it, and they're done with it. But yeah. I mean, as far as like isekais go, it's always odd to me to see like what hit with people and what did well. Like I said, Ariforta, I think is, while I think that Demon Lord Retry isn't a good show, it at least had ideas that I thought were very interesting, and I would have loved to see more, and I'm sure that's not going to get a second season. But there was stuff about that show that I thought was interesting. I thought their take on the subgenre within the subgenre, it's an isekai, but it's somebody gets like their consciousness transferred into a fictional world or a fantasy world, but they are inhabiting their video game character NPC. So it's like Overlord. But in this case, Demon Lord Retry, the guy is in a fantasy world, but the video game he played was like a GTA online style game. So he's like coming in with like a different sets of abilities and stuff. And I thought that was really interesting, like an interesting take. I don't think it was particularly great as a show goes, but I think that the idea was at least interesting. It's so weird. This season we don't even have isekais. We've got like, what do we have this season? This season is VR games, but people aren't trapped. So it's not the sword art. It's later sword art. It's not early sword art. Two of the shows that I'll talk about after we take our pause for the cause and I get into about what I've been watching this week. Two of the shows that I've been watching take place within a virtual like games thing, and they're different shows. They're certainly different shows, but they're similar in that respect. This thing's pop out, huh? Should I get these back in? These little things like to pop out. Looks like. All right, so. Oh, they popped out of this, right? Okay. Can you show if it's pushing the narrative? It's trying to. Yeah, certainly. I think like. I think one of the things that carried the as I said, season 2 of Batwoman. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about it, that particular thing. But like with Ari Forza, like that's a show that I think one of the things that kept it going was that he wasn't immediately overpowered. He had to grow with his powers, and I think people were interested in that. And then it also, as soon as it started becoming a harem, I started hearing more people talk about it. Because it was like, oh, well, there's a bunny girl in it now, and that's actually when I was less interested in it, because the harem aspect of that is some of the least interesting parts to me in that genre. Uh, like, it happens and whatever, but I'm generally more interested uh, in I'm less interested in shows when like they go that direction. They don't have to, but I've watched harem shows. I've watched isekais with lots of female characters who are all in love with the main guy. I mean, like, I'm sort of watching a Fate series where that is definitely happening. The Grand Order or whatever I don't even know which one I'm watching. I'm barely watching it. Uh, I decided I was going to learn a little bit more about the Fate series, because I've said this. So I'll say this. I won't actually talk about it in the anime talk portion. I'll talk about it now. I mean, the whole thing tonight's just being anime, whatever. Chat is light, so I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. So the only Fate series that I've ever watched fully is Today's Menu in Emiya House. Is that right? What it's called? Yeah, Today's Menu for the Emiya family. Sorry, Today's Menu for the Emiya family, which is a slice of life, like half-length series, or half episode length series, that is about the characters in the Fate series, like throughout the Fate series, the many Fate series, um, just cooking food and being together and hanging out. And there's some there's some comedy to it. There's some like stuff, but like basically everyone. It's a world where everyone has a truce, basically, and no one's trying to kill one another at this moment, which is pretty nice. And so you get like character exploration, and Saber is just adorable and loves food and is hanging out, and you get to see Emiya Shiro hold his own as far as cooking and being a good dude, and it's just a light, nice production that I'm super into. Uh, it's just a chill slice of life about how good food is and how like being with people is nice and some traditions and stuff. Uh, but also I know enough about the Fate series to know that like, hey, this one girl has it really rough in a lot of the shows. So it's nice that like Sakura has like a good time in this show. Like, that's nice because I know that character has some real bullshit happen to her, and some people she's like poorly treated in the show. I'm having trouble with these little side panels here, so I'm going to try to get these right. Try to get these little side plastic pieces to line up properly. So we're doing that now. If you're wondering what I was doing as I'm talking about this thing that ran all of 2018, it was a monthly show. It ran once a month, and then they put out 13 episodes, and it's just a very quaint, very like lovely little show. But yeah, I was sort of interested in checking out the latest Fate show because it was up for some anime awards. So I was like, oh, let me kind of check that out, see what's going on with that. They're, like, if people are liking this, maybe I should know what's going on with it. And it seems okay. Seems all right. All of those seem fine. I have friends who that's like all of the Fate shows are their shows, and they watch all the side stories, and they know the plots to all of it, and they know all the characters, and they played the games and know all the different like things, and they're like super up on it, and I am not at all. I just never was super into it. But I saw clips of the cooking one, and I was like, all right, I want to check this out. This will be the Fate show that I watch. And it's pretty fun. Okay, this is mostly connected. I'm running into some issues here. I got like one side of this done here, and the other side won't work, and I'm not sure. I'm looking at it, and I think that these are supposed to be sticking out, but I can't tell. This is all one piece, and then this slides in here. Maybe this is in wrong. Okay, that might be it. I might be putting this in wrong, which would lead to some issues. Nope, that looks right. It slides in there. And then this goes... This is going to go in front. Because the back is where the this thing is going to pop in, the GN drive. It's going to pop in the back. So that's right. It's these little plastic rungs. I wonder if I can see on the photo. When in doubt, nope, can't see that at all. It's totally blocked. So that's not going to work. So I'm just looking at the photos here. It looks like this goes under. Yeah, so it looks like it goes under. All right. Well, we're going to move on and see if I have to... We'll see if I can get this to line up when I put the next piece on, which is the next step. So we'll try that. G6. See if we can get that working. But yeah, so that's I mentioned earlier that was the comfort anime that I'm watching, which is it's just a light show, and I like that. And I had to run out of stuff I wanted to watch today before the stream started, so I was just watching some episodes again because they're like 13 minutes. And every once in a while, that's just nice to watch a little quick show, get some views in of a thing that you like. Enjoy a thing for a little bit, just a little bit of entertainment. Okay, so that goes in like that. All right. Okay, that looks good. That looks all right. I think we're doing this okay. We'll find out if things don't line up right. We'll make it work. We're gonna use our first connector here. We'll take a pause for the calls in just a moment. I'm gonna finish this step here and get a lot of our chest done. We're not done with the chest yet, but we're getting some's done. We got our first piece there, and then we'll, of course, take the pause for the calls. I'll talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you like to do, and then we'll get back into building, and I will talk about the anime for this week, because I watched this show that will be part of my Friday, Saturday watching, but I didn't watch until this week because I wasn't going to watch it, and then people were like, no, Pat, this show is good. Check it out. So I'm excited about that. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But first, we're going to finish this connector here. Yeah, and then we'll chat a little bit about ways you can do to support the stream. I didn't, so far today, did not hit my mini goal. I'm raising some funds so that I can go to PAX East. I'm going to do a full thing, talk about it this weekend a little bit. I'll do a write-up on Twitter. But basically, some people have, I think, rightly asked, why did you submit panels if you weren't going to be able to go? Why did you wait until you got your panels accepted to then ask people for money? And some people use the term beg, which I'm certainly not begging, but I am asking for help. And the easy answer is I had a sponsor back out. In late December, I was talking with a sponsor that was going to pay for my travel and hotel, and I was going to do some work for them in exchange for that, and that fell through. And right before it fell through, the day after it fell through, so that's what I said. The day after it fell through, I was trying to do my timeline right. I got accepted. I got panels accepted. and then was just like, oh, okay, shit. So that's where I'm at with that. That is why I am currently doing some fundraising stuff to try to get funds together for that. Um, I was able to, with the money that I've already gotten, put the down payment down on my Airbnb. So I am set for that. I have to finish collecting the money I need for that and then deal with travel. Um, uh, right now I'm, raising enough for a train ride, but if necessary, I can, I can do bus and I'll do bus. So, but I'm, trying to pick away at it, try to get the money together that I need for that. Um, and it is okay. It's just fine. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that and make that a thing. I'll do like a Twitter thread probably this weekend about that because some people and are right to ask, to ask and or uh, be annoyed. Yesterday I got some high profile retweets, which was very nice and very helpful, but then also did open me up for criticism, which is fine. Like that, it's totally within people's rights to be like, wait, but what's up? What the fuck? Like that's totally fine, and I was expecting that. You get somebody with a huge following to be like, hey, what do you mean? Why, must be nice to have the cachet to, I think one of the quotes was, must be nice to have the cachet to get panels accepted and then beg for people to pay for it for you. And I was like, okay, all right. I mean, sure, okay. So yeah, I will probably do a Twitter thread about that. Uh, and when, that's fine. Because the thing is, like, people have been very good to me over the past year. So I'm not, and in general, in all things, particularly financially. And so I'm not, like I'm not stressed about it. And I'm not, like, mad that people are annoyed and wondering what's going on. So, it is just a thing. All right, we finished this part here. We are almost done with this, so we're going to take a pause for the cause. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer and my Twitch, or you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know. Use your Twitch Prime coin. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch. You get free games, and sometimes those game things are not great. Salt's thrown in there. Yes, Ultron, and I certainly will. Jam is here. I mean, I'm gonna owe people for a very long time, and I'm gonna do my best to take care of that. Lord Stockton's here. Hi, Lord Stockton. So yeah, thank you for being a subscriber. A reminder that if you use Twitch Prime, you do have to manually renew that. You can't. It doesn't automatically go. If you're using Cash Money, it is automatic. But yeah, that's a way to subscribe and support the stream because money we make from Patreon, from Twitch, goes into me buying kits and equipment. I also have a Patreon. If that's how you'd like to try to support, you do get videos early, which is kind of nice. I'm going to quickly go through these pause for the cause stuff, and then we'll get back to building. But yeah, I got a Patreon. That's another way to support if that's something you'd like to do. I have, donations if you want to do that. And anything that I get during the stream to my donation page goes to me buying kits and equipment. I'm due to buy some more kits. If you, like Lashbrook, who bought this Exia, if you're like, oh, I would buy something off a wish list and have you build it, and then you'd thank me in a video about that, and then also, or I could be anonymous, like the person that bought that initial D car. You can buy something off my Amazon wish list, and I'll build it on stream. Yeah, I've got some fairly expensive Lego sets on there, some 144 high grades that are always pretty well priced. Sometimes they have Amazon Prime shipping, sometimes they don't. Um, but I put in this is a new kit. It's a new One Piece kit. So we've built the Thousand Sunny before, but this is the Stampede movie version of it. So it is the Penguin, the Emperor Penguin version. So that it could fly up a thing. It's a whole thing for the movie, but it just looks neat, and I would like to build it. Um, the Ogre GNX from Gundam Build Diaries is also like, I like big fat swords like that. I just think it looks cool. I don't know. I got a bunch of kits in there, some expensive kits, some inexpensive kits, and if that's something you'd like to do, you could do that, and I'll build it on stream. That is a way to support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. Um, I also have so you could also, if you're like, I don't want to buy anything on Amazon, you could buy a gift card from USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card, you whisper me here on Twitch, or you send me a DM because my DMs are open on Twitter, and you go, hey, USA Gundam Store, here's a gift card I bought there, and I'll be like, thank you, and then I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. Because right now, USA Gundam Store is taking pre-orders or has the Hello Kitty Gundam, whereas I believe that is not available on Amazon yet. Look, I don't know if it's going to be this year. I don't know if it's going to be this month. At some point in my life, I'm going to build that Hello Kitty Gundam. Gonna build, like, I gotta? I gotta. I have a Discord. You can support me there. Join the Discord. I post photos of stuff I build on. Other people post photos of things they're working on. That's a fun thing. You can join my Discord if that's something you'd like to do. I encourage people to do that. It's very chill. You can check it once a day. You can check it once a week if you wanted, and just see like my progress on my builds and other people's progress and stuff they're working on, which is fun. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to drink some water. And then I've got a couple links to put in chat. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, this is all in the show description. All these links are in there. Why not drink some water? Why not stretch your arms and legs a little bit? I got to put some links in the chat, and then we're going to keep moving. As I mentioned, I have a PAX East fundraiser. I'm fundraising for my trip to PAX East. People have been incredibly generous so far, and I'm very grateful to that. I'm almost halfway to my goal of $500, which will allow me to have a close but not great Airbnb. I will not be able to stream from it, but I will be able to stay there. And I'll be able to take a train up as well and do panels that I want to do. I'm running 2 panels, and I am on 2 others so far. And I'm trying to do some other stuff. I want to make it worth it for people. So that's the thing to check out if you'd like. Pat Bear's Anime Club. Episode 8 came out this previous Monday, which is my Anime Awards preview. I talk about my process is I vote for the shows that I think win in their categories, and I talk about some stuff that should have been nominated, like the Stars Align ending theme should have been nominated, the ending sequence, because that's great, or I don't know, maybe should have been a fight from Fire Force, or Black Clover in the best fight sequence category, perhaps. Or, I don't know, a fight from My Hero Academia, because those fights have been rad. That's just, my thoughts. And then, Baering the List this week, I look at the Nintendo home consoles. Baering the List is me using Tier Maker to just list some stuff. It's light, it's easy, it's some fun content I can do weekly. Next week's is going to be real good. Next week's is very silly. I said in the video that I finally found something we can all agree on. And I do think so. I think that people are going to watch that and be like, I agree with you, Pat. You're right. Anyway, I'm going to drink some water. I put the water thing in there. And then we're going to talk about anime. And I'm going to get back to building. But first, let me drink some water. Maybe you can drink some water or stretch your legs or, roll your wrists, things there, that kind of thing. Do whatever you got to do to maybe take your chin off of your hand or your palm like this. Stop doing that. I got a shade. Oh. I have a face-to-face meeting on Monday for a possible job, and I have been very lazy to shave off my sadness beard, but I will. All of this is just, and this is getting thick and getting white, and I'm just getting, it's just, it's a winter sadness beard. You know what I'm talking about. You get it. Anyway, anime. Let's start with Inspector, which I didn't realize was Inspector, but also Spectre until I looked at it. This thing starts off a little slow, but by the end of the first, so the end of the first episode, you're like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? But the most of the first episode, you're like, oh, it's taking its time. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is pretty neat. What's up with this? I didn't watch it when it, I watched it this week. I think I watched it on Tuesday because people were like, Pat, you should check this out. You got this, young lady who turns out not to be as young as she looks, which is weird, and I don't know why they're doing that, but they are. And she's like talking to a guy that she's into. And then things get a little weird, and they start talking about like the paranormal stuff, and there's kappas, and okay, what's going on here, and all this, and like, so it's a world. Our main female character here was kidnapped by yokai, like minor spirits, and asked to become a goddess of wisdom. She is someone that like handles disputes and was given like certain abilities and knowledge at a young age. In exchange for one of her eyes and one of her legs. And already you're like, oh, fuck. And the dude that like hears this is like kind of believes her and is kind of like whatever about it in a weird way. He's kind of whatever about it in a way that I'm like, why aren't you more freaked out, dude? Main dude? And then they run into like a monstrous yokai that like won't listen to her. And throughout, like we run into a little, like there's a little spirit, and there's like an undead dude, and like a few people. There's a little bit of business with like an undead guy that you think is gonna like attack her, but is like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And you realize his unfinished business is that there's lots of romance manga that he hasn't read yet. And I think it's just like a quick little gag, and I was like, all right, I like that. That was a good bit of business, but really, what's coming down to it is that like, spirits, low-level spirits, are fucking terrified of our dude. Our dude, scares the shit out of all of these like low-level, kind of peaceful, not here to cause trouble, just here to hang out, like demons or ghosts, not demons, but like ghosts and earthly spirits and all that. And they fucking dislike this dude. They're scared shitless by this dude. They don't want anything to do with this dude. And we don't know why. And they fight a monster. And in the end of the first episode, and I'll spoil the end of the first episode because we gotta go to it. This monster eats this dude's arm, like chomps it off, and then it grows back, and then the monster yokai fucking dies. And he goes, I really am poisonous to their kind. And then it ends with like, hey, what's your fucking deal, dude? And he just was like, as a child, I ate 2 kinds of monster meat. Or yokai meat. Which apparently has given him immortality, or at least invulnerability, like he heals, which is nonsense. And then it also gives him, he's also poisonous, and that's why a bunch of these spirits were like scared shitless of this dude. And so like, and that's the episode ends with them just being like, I ate my fill. And you're like, what? What do you mean? End of episode. So I'm gonna watch the second episode because I'm interested into seeing more of this. Now, this could just become Monster of the Week, right? We're not going to explore any big stories. We've already learned, we're going to learn more backstory of stuff. We're going to learn, whatever. They're going to deal with, like, maybe there's a reason why some stuff is happening the way it's happening, and there's an overarching villain that hasn't been introduced yet, I'm sure. We haven't met that. We don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure if that's happening or not. But, like, I can say I'm interested in what's going on with it. I also don't love the whole she's in high school but looks younger thing. And like maybe it's to do with her abilities, is that like it stunted her growth? I don't love that because she is like she is interested in the dude romantically, and that's weird because she does look to be young. I don't love that. It seems like an odd choice. It doesn't seem to be a lie. It's not like she's like pretending to be older, so that's good. But it does feel weird, and I don't know why she looks so young and why that was a choice made in the show. I don't love that part. There's also a point where she's like, uh, he catches her in the princess carrying. She's like, "Yep, this feels right. This is good." And I was like, "Ah, it's kind of fun," because she is interested in him. So I like that she's like wants to be carried like a princess and not carried on his back like a grade schooler. So that's in Spectre. They're gonna solve problems for that otherworldly creatures have in the human world. I guess. There's that. Black Clover. So a thing happened that like has been slowly been building up for a year. Nero, the bird that showed up. This bird that showed out of nowhere that like seemingly has a connection to the main characters and like has a connection to a lot of stuff. Just seemed to be there's something going on with this bird. This bird knew something. It wasn't saying anything. Well, literally talked, and now is a girl, and apparently used her magic to seal the first Wizard King, who fought the demons, and is now helped and has been, because she used this forbidden magic, has been a bird this whole time. The bird Nero, and she's just like, now she's back doing her thing. And what does that mean? I don't know. But the fucking original Wizard King is back, and that's good. Because the demon they're fucking fighting seems rough as hell and hard to fight. Because he uses word magic, which is, he says something and then it becomes true, which is like way too overpowered. That's really overpowered. But apparently anti-magic works well against him, which is good. So his sword, or Asta's sword, should hopefully come in handy. I don't know. Things heated up. There were some good fight scenes. There's some good action. I'm excited to see more of it. It's Black Clover. You don't watch it. I know you don't watch it, but I do, and I think it's rad. So I'll still talk about it, even though I know that I'm the only only person I know who watches it. A new Black Clover gotcha game came out today, says Lord Stockton. Lord Stockton, I did not know that. I will look at it. Look, I almost bought Shonen Jump, the Shonen Jump video game, because there are two Black Clover characters in there. That's how much I like Black Clover. I almost bought a game that I know is bad. I watched the hell out of Black Clover, says Lord Stockton. Lord Stockton, fuck yeah. I love that. Good. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad that the new song is up, and they have an event for oh, nice. Oh, I love those I love the fire siblings They're great. They're just good. Just they would have their own anime. Like they could run their own anime. Uh, $80 is too much. Yeah, that is too much. But I get a free 5-star Henry and Nero. Nice. Yeah, I'm not up for gacha games, so I'm probably not gonna go for that. But I'm glad they're getting some love, and I hope that people, have fun with it. But yeah, I'm excited about the new Black Clover song because I didn't think the old one was good. The last one was necessarily great. So I think this new one's good. And what was I going to say? Yeah, overall, it's a good show. Excited for more of it. I don't know how they're going to beat this demon. I mean, maybe Lich will wait. Maybe the Wizard King showing up will completely revitalize Licht, and he'll be super powered and ready to make it happen. But they got some strong people, so maybe they can pull off a miracle. I don't know. Also, I want to see more of Charmy, right? Like Lord Stockton. I don't know. Maybe you're not as big of a Charmy stan as I am, but we just found out that Charmy is part gnome or dwarf. She's part dwarf. And now I want to know more about that. What's up with that? What's going on with Charmy? Charmy's part dwarf? What does that even mean? Her ability, gluttony, or new spell stuff? What's going on there? Big Charmy fan. Charmy rules. La. Just a good fun little. Look, I'm a sucker for joke characters in shows, like supporting gag characters that turn out to be rad as hell. That rules. Yes, Munchie and all that. I like that she has a chibi form. I like that her unlocking her powers made her bigger, and she was freaked out by that. She was like, I loved it finding her gnome abilities made her taller, or dwarf abilities to say. Just nonsense. Just good nonsense. I'm a big fan of that character. Alright, we gotta get this on here. Alright, we gotta keep talking about anime. Oh no. Gonna keep talking about the anime the anime stuff I want to talk about. Yes, we're doing it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're gonna talk about Sorcerous, Stabber, Orphen. It's Orphen. Hey, it's the same voice actor from the first series in the late 90s. All the other actors are different, but the same dude. And here's the thing about Orphen that I really like, and it shows its age a little bit. So some of the comedy stuff didn't work then, doesn't really work now. But here's the thing that I think fucking rules about Orphen. In the first episode, magic goes wrong, and a girl turns into a dragon. And then the guy that considers her to be his older sister, that looks up to her, is like, I'm going to go find her, and I'm going to turn her back into a human. I don't know why this happens. I don't know what went wrong, but magic went fucked, and I'm going to do it. And if you won't help me, then I'll abandon my name, and I will go and make this happen on my own. I will become an orphan. And that's the show. And obviously more is going to come up with it, but there's no big mystery why this dude who corrects wise now and again is still a pretty badass wizard and has contempt for things and is trying to make things happen and what his fucking deal is. And yes, there are going to be secrets and there's going to be mysteries and there's going to be twists and turns and someone's going to betray him and all this other bullshit. That's all going to be in there. But we're not going to spend 12 episodes to find out that this dragon that he's been chasing is actually a woman that was trying to save someone's life. We're not going to spend all this time and then find out what they mean to each other. We know right away. It's not like Look, I'm not saying anything negative about Trigun, okay? I think Trigun rules. But, like, it takes a long ass time to find out anything about Vash the Stampede. And yes, it would be weird if in episode 1 we knew all of the weird ass shit about that character, but like we don't know anything about him for a really long time. For like a really, really long time, we know nothing about Vash. And it's kind of nice to have a show that's just like, hey, here's why this is happening. There's more to it, I'm sure, but like, here's something. Here's why he left the Tower of Wizards, or the Wizard Tower that he was studying in. Here's why he's not a top wizard. Here's why he doesn't go by that name anymore. Here's the thing that happened. There's gonna be more to it, but don't you fucking worry. We'll get to it when we get to it. There's some stuff that I think is good about that. Yeah, the comedy doesn't. I don't remember if the comedy worked then. I would have to watch the first season, the first show again, and like remind myself of it. So I don't know if like some of the jokes hold up now, but it's still a cool show. It's Orphen. It's like the 25th anniversary of the manga, or 26th now, because it was delayed, so it's like the 26th year. And it's cool that it has a fucking new anime. I think that's neat. There were two. There was a Orphen, and then I believe there was either a movie or an OVA, and there was a second season or second series called like Sorcerous, Stabber, Orphen, Revenge. But this one right now, I think it's just one season, or 113 episode arc is all they're doing. But I'm excited about it. I think it's pretty neat. I'm gonna retweet myself here. See if I can maybe get a couple people to pop into chat. Because that would be neat. Or pop in to watch the stream, because we got it's a pretty late night tonight, which is okay. But often this is my busier night, Thursday. Also, my next stream on Saturday is at 3:30 p.m. So I already know that one's going to be a little tough as far as numbers go, because I am going to be streaming in the afternoon on a Saturday, because I am working Saturday night. I'm covering a shift at theater that I tech at. So I already know that I'm going to be doing, my numbers aren't going to be necessarily great on Saturday. So I would love to have a few more people kind of check in for the last half hour of the stream. But that's okay if they don't. What was I going to say? So the next show that I'll talk about is BOFURI. BOFURI. BOFURI? BOFURI? I don't know how to say it. BOFURI. BOFURI. Hey, BOFURI is good. It is on Funimation and Hulu. I'm watching it on Hulu. It is a VR RPG game. So, I was mistaken. Basically, this girl who has never really played these games before, her friend begs her to play this game. So she gets in there. She's trying stuff out. She's building a defense build, like a tank build, but doing it really weird. Like, she can't run because she doesn't have any points in agility, and she's like, I'm going to be a really strong tank character. And she ends up being like pretty dang powerful because she's so tanky that like a lot of creatures die from just hitting her shield. So it's kind of fun and silly. So I thought that her friend was like, it's going to turn out her friend is high ranking and all that. No, her friend is just as new to it. She was playing other games, so she's the one that talked her into doing this with her. So her friend comes in, and she's going to be a swashbuckler, which you'd think she would be like a mage or some kind of character that, that would complement a tank. But no, she's going to do she's going to do quote unquote the hardest class in the game, which I just think is like it's a fun character choice. And there's a lot of friendship. And this episode has a montage of them like leveling up their skills. And the song sounds like it should be in Persona 4 or Persona 3. it's that kind of song. Like, and so I was like, all right, you have my attention, show. Like, you just did a very fun montage to like a real good Persona sound alike. Uh, does she have a taunt? Yes, Ultron. She has some sort of thing that like pulls like a pull. Um, she has skills. She got like some. She in the first episode she defeated a Hydra that she shouldn't have been able to by eating it, which is not a thing that people would have. It worked, but it wasn't a thing that people would have done. Because she has good counters, but she basically built an immunity to poisons, so she can't be poisoned. And in this episode, she like does some PvP and does very well in it. But she's stuck because she has such poor agility. She's just like, I'm going to stand here. Come at me. And people are like, I'll take you down. And it just does not work. It's fun. It's a fun show. It's very light. It's very silly. There was, good friendship and good vibes. I like the idea that that perhaps the other characters, because there are other characters that are going to get introduced in the show, and my hope is that they all have weird builds. Like that, the commonality for all of them is that they're like people who are trying to play the game differently and come together out of mutual respect for like the odd choices that each other makes. And I just think that's cool. It's just like a light, fun RPG adventure show with like a fun female character she's not like super overpowered. She's overpowered because she's like min-maxing in a weird way. But she's not overpowered because like she's the hero of destiny or whatever. Which feels more like the other show, the next show that I've been watching, which is Infinite Dendrogram. Infinite Dendrogram is I don't know if I'm going to keep watching this show. It's fine. It's another VR game thing. There's some hints that maybe the brother character is famous. We got a main guy. He's got like a helper character. They call them embryos. She's called Nemesis. She looks like she's a battle maiden, and she turns into a sword. I don't know. I don't really want to go into it too much. It's just like an okay show that I'm not like super invested in right now. I'll probably keep watching it. I don't have anything like super exciting to say. I think that like it's just fine so far. I like some of the RPG choices. I like that. So basically the premise is anything can happen in this game. Including that NPCs can just die and not come back to life. So there's weight to a lot of stuff. And there's like things that are happening and yada, yada, yada. And I don't know. They introduced another character that seemed like fine. And I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about the show. I think if it was on Friday or Saturday, I would already not be watching it because there's a lot of shows that I watch on Fridays and Saturdays. So I can only watch so many things. It would be a show that I stopped watching and maybe watch like at the end of the season. But I'm watching it right now, so Infinite Dendrogram is okay. That is the best thing I say about it. It is. I don't hate it. I am not actively stopping watching it like Senton Academy, which I watched halfway through episode 1 on Monday, and I was like, oh, I'm done with this show. Okay. Or episode 2, I should say. Watched the first episode and half episode 2. And I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this show anymore. Okay. There we go. That happens sometimes. There's too much good stuff out there, or at least enough okay stuff out there, that I'm not going to waste my time on something that feels like a waste of my time. But yeah. on Saturday I'll be able to get caught up on. Um, so this is a weird thing. I talked about this before. The show. Um, what's it called? I gotta look it up. The name of it. Oh, Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. Crunchyroll put up three. It came out on Japan, like on Netflix in Japan, and they released all of it. Or no, it was Amazon Prime in Japan, and they released the whole thing. And so Crunchyroll put up the first three at once, and now it's going weekly, which is just to me an odd choice. They were like, well, we're going to put each up. Um, but I like the first two episodes. I didn't watch the third one. I just watched the first two. I like the first two episodes. I'm interested in watching more of it. I'll let you know, 3 and 4 when I watch those. Um, it is a romantic comedy that basically they're doing experiments to see if they can like heartbeat and discover the science behind love, and if there is a way to like hypothesize certain conditions and all that. And it's like, I don't know, it seems kind of interesting, and so I am tentatively uh, excited about it. I'm going to keep watching it because I think there's something there. There's something kind of interesting about it. Um, but yeah, that's basically it for shows. Like, obviously, Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken is the show of the season. That's the best show this season. Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken is great. Room Camp is fun. The laid back campsite story. It's totally serviceable and fun. It's not like essential to enjoy. Like, I think if you liked laid back camp, then you'll like it. But it's not. It's 3-minute episodes. It's not like you know completely necessary to watch. You could wait for it all. You don't have to watch it every Monday. You could wait for all of it to come out and then be like, binge it. And I think you'd do just fine with that. So, did I assemble this right? I did not assemble this right. Did not assemble this right. Wait. Sorry. Give me a second here. This is going to go like this. So I did this the wrong way. How did I do it the wrong way? Sorry, everybody. Oh, it goes like that. Nope, it goes like this. Oh, it goes underneath it. Okay, I got it now. I get jokes. Don't worry about it. This actually goes underneath. We're just putting the armor here on, and then there's another piece that goes on the top. I got confused. So this goes like this, and then another piece goes on top of it to lock in place. Great. Got it. D6 goes over this. A lot of layers to this master grade, which is good. It's nice to have like a lot of complex pieces coming together. Hopefully it'll be sturdy too. But yeah, basically like this thing's like things are going to open up, and then it powers up the GN unit, and it looks like a whole thing. I'm trying to see if there's any other shows that are like my big shows this season. Yeah, Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken. It is an anime about anime, and it is a love letter to anime, and really solid and really enjoyable. I really recommend it. It's my favorite show of the season. Room Camp is fun. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. I really liked. Right now, I'm liking it less. It felt like this last episode really dragged because there wasn't a huge plot to the show. It was just like introducing characters and the moments to it. But the second half has been very plot heavy, but also lately, like, I can tell an event is coming, but it's a thing where you're just like, okay, I know something big is about to happen, so let's just do this big thing. but instead there's like really dragged out, and I don't like that. But I do think it's a funny show, and as I said before, I feel obligated to support it, at least because it is a comedy that got a double series run. And you don't often see comedies that get a 24 or 26 episode story. That is very rare. So I feel at least obliged to check it out. Uh, and I do like it. It's just that, like I said, it has been a little slow. I would love for it to get to the action that it is coming. And then let's see. My Hero Academia. I'm looking forward to this. We're wrapping up this storyline. Last week's episode was huge. The fights were really great. I mean, this has been a solid part of the season. I will finally get my second master grade after I saw the Kraus is coming out. Oh, nice, Ultron. Heck yeah. That did look real good. But yeah, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, we need G30. Good luck with that build. But yeah, My Hero has just been so great. I'm somewhat interested in what's going on with One Piece and like this new part of the second part of Wano, but I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. There's a big info dump at the end of the last episode. That last episode wasn't good, so I don't know, maybe this one will be radical. But yeah, the last episode was not great, so I'm not super excited about this next one because of that. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this season right now, like I think there are a couple shows that I'm not watching that maybe I will pick up because I think that there will be at least one show that I eventually leave. I mean, that is the way it goes. Eventually, you're just like, I'm done with this one show. This show didn't really hit, and now I've got a hole in it. And like, I haven't watched any of Plunderer. I've heard nothing great about Plunderer, but I haven't checked it out yet. So maybe I'll really like it. I don't know. I could probably use another action show. I'm not watching the new Railgun. Certain Scientific Railgun, the new season of that. I've never been super into the Railgun Index series. I tried watching the Accelerator one because I've liked that character, but I don't. It didn't really appeal to me, and I kind of stopped watching it. And I think I mostly like Toru more than I like Misakai. I forget her name, which is a good indication. But, I mean, I definitely think that Index is a fun character, and I would like to see more of Index. So, we don't get that in this one, probably. I don't know. I really like where my Hero is now, but it feels like a slow burn up till now. Yeah, I mean, like, The Hollow. First off, hi, The Hollow. This season was definitely like, it took a while to get there, right? Like, once the internships, like, really started, not the internship, the work study really happened, like, it kicked off, right? Like, there's a bunch of just, like, one-off episodes that I didn't feel like really did much in the show. I think it took a long time. I would have much rather seen the high school, the third years in action rather than be introduced to them and see what's going on with them and just take a long time. But once this arc actually really kicked off, I thought it was great. And the fights in this last part of the arc were incredible. Also, to have the only known and showcased trans character in the show get fucking brutally murdered was a bummer. You know, that sucked. But Yeah, that was a rough part. And like I said, that's as far as my knowledge goes. That's the only trans character in the show, uh, and that was rough. Um, but yeah, overall, it's like, yeah, where's the fan? And yeah, look, you blah blah blah, villain characters, blah blah blah. It still sucks. It wasn't like there's something interest. Look, there is something interesting, and of course I can't. I can only speak so much to experiences that are not my experiences, right? But there was something so interesting about it is such a tired trope, but the idea that this character was focused so much on freedom and being true to herself that she abandoned everything and went in with people who were she didn't belong with, and because they accepted her, and how fucking sad and awful that is. That the place she belonged was full of um, unbalanced and unstable and evil people. That's where she felt the most herself, and there's something interesting to explore there, but she got fucking destroyed, and it only furthers the it really only furthers the character growth of a monstrous character that is somehow some people's best girl. And it's like, get out of here. No. Please stop calling Toga a best girl. God damn it. The character is a mess. No. But yeah, it's Tower Trope and it fucking sucks. Obviously, that's a big bad part of where in My Hero season 4. That is, uh, it's that thing where you're hey, maybe kill off the guy that just looks like, uh, what's he? Oh shit, I had a good thing to say there, and it left my head, so I'm not gonna be able to say it right. Oh, there you go. Why don't you kill the guy that looks like Deadpool? Get rid of that dude. Maybe, I don't know. Do that instead of getting rid of that character. It's a bummer. But yeah, I am excited for more hero stuff. I am farther ahead in the manga. My Hero Academia is the only manga I read because I heard a spoiler that was so good that I got caught up on the manga. Because I was like, what happens? Wait, what? Fuck. Okay, well, I need to know what's going on with that, so let me go and buy a bunch of manga and get caught up and then keep caught up. Have to kill off Deadpool. Does he become Lifepool? Asked the Hollow. No. He becomes Undeadpool, unfortunately. No, also, when talking about My Hero Academia, we gotta talk about Red Riot because thank you, the Hollow. I don't need to. I appreciate the victory. We gotta talk about Red Riot because, fuck yeah, dude. Talking about a fun support character. Talk about somebody you didn't think was gonna mean something and be somebody who is somebody. That rules. That's rad as hell. Uh, he's had some. I mean, he's had good moments in the past. Like his part of the sports festival was really fun. Like the manly moment, like the arm wrestling thing was fun. The rescue of Bakugo wouldn't have worked without him. He's had some good moments here and there. He's been some support stuff. In the villain when the villains invaded, he had, he showed some courage and got to do some stuff, and that was cool. but he's really come into his own, and he even has like a backstory that like you got touches of before when he chose his name and who he was trying to emulate, and you're like, oh, that looks like a cool dude. That character. What's up with that character? We're going to see anything about him, and we will in terms of flashback. Uh, but yeah, I like that shit. I like when characters that you would brush off as not being, um, like in the main crew. Like you wouldn't. If you told me some of Class 1A is going to invade uh, a Yakuza compound that has a bunch of villains in it and people who are using their quirks for nefarious means, and a couple students are going to be in there, I would not have guessed Red Riot Kirishima was going to be one of them. I would not have made that guess. It just wouldn't have occurred to me that he would be one of those people. And that rules. He's maybe taking a little of the thunder away from a couple other characters that I really like in the show, who aren't getting really a time to shine. I do want to know what's going on with Tokiyama working for Hawk, who is like one of the top heroes, top ranked heroes. So I would like to see how our bird friend is doing. Our bird of the night. That dude fucking rules. It's just great. I want to see him use that sword. He's got that sword in his room. What's up with that sword? All right, we're going to finish this part of the head assembly, and then we'll call it quits. Thank you very much. And we got some new people coming in towards the end of the stream. So I apologize that I'm busting out, but normally I stream from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I say normally because I will have a different stream time on Saturday. I'll be streaming from 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time because I'm working that night, so I cannot stream my normal time. But I still want to get a stream out for y'all because I know that it's nice to be able to get some streams out and I really enjoy building and want to keep building. So I'll stream on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Birds of the Night sounds like UK slang. Yes, Birds of the Night. Okay, yeah. I hear what you're saying. I get you the hollow. Yeah, so my next stream will be Saturday, this coming Saturday, from 3:30 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. So apologize for the early stream, but I hope you'll be able to join me if you can and spend some of your Saturday with me, as I just gonna finish up parts of this head here, and then we will finish the rest of this head up on Saturday. But we got a little bit of it done. And we got our chest done here, our body done. So we got some work in on our kit. Oh, the back thing comes off. That's fun. I forgot about that. I gotta put this back on then. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you on Saturday. If not, I'll see you the next time. I'm gonna run a 60-second ad. You can watch it. You don't have to, but it will benefit the stream. I never run ads during the stream. Always at the top of the stream, at the end of the stream. So watch that ad if you'd like. Otherwise, just hang out for 60 seconds and then I'll stop the stream. But yeah, see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.